The Armed Forces of the Philippines says the country is not provoking conflict in the West Philippine Sea. This in response to Chinese state media's remark that the Philippines has relied on U.S. support to continually provoke China with extremely dangerous behavior. In a public briefing, AFP spokesperson Medel Aguilar says the Philippines is not stirring up trouble in the disputed waters and only acting in line with international law.
Hindi po tayo nagsisimula ng gulo. Tayo po ay sumusunod sa international law at atin lang ini-implement ang ating domestic law. Ibig sabihin, hanggang saan ba talaga ang ating territorial waters, hanggang saan ba ang ating exclusive economic zone, na kung saan meron tayong tinatawag na sovereign rights at jurisdiction. At meron po tayong obligasyon na panatilihin na malinis ang kapaligiran at ligtas ang paglalayag ng anumang bansa sa lugar na yon.
Most of the South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea, has been dismissed by the 2016 landmark ruling at The Hague. But China's harassment of Philippine vessels in the West Philippine Sea continues. According to Aguilar, it is China and not the Philippines who is conducting activities that will put vessels and seafarers in danger.
Hindi tayo nagsasagawa ng mga activities na makaglalagay sa panganib sa ibang mga maglalayag tulad po ng kanilang ginagawa. Lahat po ng mga violations, sila ang may kagagawan. Ngayon po, sa pag-alyansa natin sa ibang bansa, ito po ay dahil na alam ng maraming bansa na tama ang ating pinaglalaban at ito po ay para sa pagpapalakas ng isang international law na kung tawagin is United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, because this is the only way to peacefully resolve maritime disputes.
The National Security Council says it welcomes China's offer of dialogue to resolve the several issues on the West Philippine Sea, but there should be mutual respect and sincerity between the two countries. This comes after China said that its door of dialogue remains open with the Philippines, but it will continue to protect its interests. NSC spokesperson Jonathan Malaya says that China's offer of dialogue is welcome, but Beijing must immediately stop its bullying, aggressive actions, and illegal moves in the West Philippine Sea. He adds that dialogue can only succeed in an atmosphere of mutual respect and sincerity, saying the Philippines is ready to reciprocate provided that China and its bullying, harassment, and aggressive actions. Beijing asserts sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea. But an international tribunal ruling in 2016 effectively dismissed China's claim while ruling heavily in favor of the Philippines. The Department of Trade and Industry says President Bongbong Marcos's foreign trips have obtained 4 trillion pesos worth of investments as of December 21. According to the Presidential Communications Office, the total investment value consists of 148 projects based on DTI's latest monitoring of consolidated and processed investments. Citing DTI, the PCO says the investments are mostly in sectors of manufacturing, IT, BPM, renewable energy, data centers, and telecommunications. The DTI says the investments were gained during Marcos's business engagements in the United States and Japan, among others. This month, Marcos attended the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Japan Commemorative Summit, where he secured 9 investments worth 14 billion pesos. In November, Marcos visited the U.S. for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Leaders Meeting, where he secured 6 investments worth 37.2 billion pesos. A lawmaker wants fees in e-wallets to be waived for transactions under 1,000 pesos. Cagayan de Oro City Representative Lordan Suwan has filed House Bill number 9749, which seeks to require e-wallet providers and electronic fund transfer service providers to waive transaction fees for small amounts. The bill aims to promote digital inclusion, which means getting more Filipinos to use digital means to do typical banking transactions such as payments, transfers, deposits, and withdrawals. The proposed law also wants to encourage a wider adoption and usage of e-wallets among low-income and unbanked Filipinos. The waiver of fees will apply to transactions such as, but not limited to, sending money to another e-wallet user, cashing into or cashing out from an e-wallet account, and transferring funds to a bank account. However, fees may be charged for subsequent small value transactions if the total of the small value transactions exceeds 2,000 pesos a day. According to data from Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, e-money accounts are the most owned bank accounts with 27.5 million users. Department of Labor and Employment Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma says there is always a possibility for wage increases in 2024, but the final decision rests on the regional tripartite wages and productivity boards. In a radio interview, Laguesma was asked about a news report quoting him that a wage hike is unlikely next year. Laguesma clarifies that he has no final say on the matter because such is one of the duties of the wage boards, saying it is unlikely he will sidestep the wage boards. The DOLE chief points out that there is always a likelihood for a wage hike, saying it is the mandate of the wage boards. He stresses that the wage boards analyze situations and come up with appropriate actions, whether or not a wage hike petition is filed. According to Laguesma, the duties of wage boards do not end with issuing a wage order, as they also monitor prevailing circumstances and check employers' compliance to devise a plan. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Armed Forces of the Philippines says the country is not provoking conflict in South China Sea. President Bongbong Marcos orders extension of reduced tariffs on rice, corn, and meat products until the end of 2024. And the Department of Health reports 24 more fireworks-related injuries, bringing total to 52. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.